the games begin?
And welcome to the first edition of the Sports Guys in Ties, a prosandcon.com production. Of course, if you're listening for the very first time, you're not the only one. Everybody out there listening for the very first time. I'm Jason Kahn, alongside this guy, Matt Galka. Matt, how you doing today, man?
Great, Jason. Great to be here. Great day to do this. And yeah, this is the first time we're listening to it, too, so hopefully it's going to be fun.
That's right. Now, Sports Guys in Ties, by the way, you can listen to this podcast every Monday morning, starting at 6 a.m. sharp, and then, of course, it'll be on the website, prosandcon.com, every single day throughout the week, of course, up until next Monday. Now, we actually begin our podcast on a very topical week, Matt. Very topical, because this week is Super Bowl XLVIII. Now, we can overanalyze the Super Bowl all we want between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. Peyton Manning going for his second Super Bowl victory. The Seattle Seahawks going for their first in franchise history. But I think the topic that everybody's talking about is the weather, and that's where we'll start. The headliner of our first segment of this week is about the weather conditions leading up to Super Bowl XLVIII. Now, Matt, I don't know if you've looked at the forecast.
Right now, it's going to be chilly. It's going to be a little cold, a wintry mix, as they like to call it.
We're from the Northeast.
Yeah, it's not cold for us, but look, first and foremost, the Super Bowl bye week is one of the worst weeks of the year because there is no football, unless you really like the North-South Senior Bowl, but there is no football. And you're supposed to, well, it's supposed to be warm when you're in the bye week because who goes to the Super Bowl, Jason? Fans go, the players go, obviously. Rich people go. And rich people don't really want to be in New York City in February. That's why they have houses where it's warm.
All right, well, I actually kind of like an additional element to the Super Bowl. It is being described in the forecast as a light, wintry mix right now on Sunday with a chance of rain, and we know what freezing rain is like.
That's right.
It's not good.
No, not
It's
fun.
at 60% right now. This is a 10-day forecast, but we'll know more, of course, leading up to the Super Bowl in the week, and it is at a high during the day of 37 degrees, so imagine what it's going to be like when Super Bowl kickoff is at night. Now, this is the quote from NFL Executive Vice President Eric Grubman. He said, "The game could be played any day from Friday, January 31st to Monday, February 3rd, in case of a major snowstorm." Matt, your thoughts on what would happen if there is a major snowstorm and they have to change this from Super Bowl Sunday to Super Bowl Friday?
It's Super Bowl Sunday for a reason. People plan, you plan years almost in advance for this. If you're going to go to the Super Bowl, you buy airfare, you buy a hotel, you get the family there if you have that kind of money, or maybe you're a Seahawks fan who's traveling from Seattle who booked the hotel until Monday. So what are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? You're going to be snowed in. Is Delta going to pay for your next Super Bowl airfare if they can't get you out because your flight's probably Monday? This could be a total disaster. Look, when they decided about this, 4, 5, 6 years ago, it was really cool. Cold weather Super Bowl, Super Bowl I, Super Bowl II, cold weather. Now it's not that cool because all of a sudden you have these, if it's a blizzard, everybody's out of luck. Sorry, guys. And everybody's already paid for their tickets. The NFL's not going to reimburse anybody. So you really could be out of luck if there's a snowstorm, which, by the way, it snows in New England in the wintertime. Just Goodell, I just want to let you know. And I really think this will never happen again. I'm sure it'll be fine. To tell you the truth, freezing rain, that's not going to be great for the players. It's not going to be great for the fans. It's going to be great for the people in the suites. But it's not going to be great. But I don't think they'll do this again. I really do not.
You know who probably has an opinion about this, Matt?
Who's that?
I would think Richard Sherman has an opinion about that because that guy is very opinionated just about everything. I think so. And that brings us to our next segment. Say what? That's right. Last week in the NFC Conference Championship game, post-game interview with Aaron Andrews, I'm going to read the quote from Richard Sherman, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Matt.
Can you read it like him?
I can't read it like him, although I saw renditions from little kids, and they did a great job at that if you watch the Sports Illustrated segment. "Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me." And then Aaron Andrews, of course, replied with, "Who is talking about you?"
Talking
I don't know. "Crabtree," as if she didn't just hear that. Right. Don't you open your mouth about the best, or I'm going to shut it for you real quick.
When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
This was, first, I'll just say right now, I loved it. I really did love it. I loved I almost called it a promo. I loved it and I loved it for a lot of reasons. We've interviewed a lot of people.
Yeah, we have.
And all we 90% of the time get is what we call coach speak.
Of course, if you're not familiar with our background, are reporters. We're reporters at a local station.
That's right. So we get a lot of coach speak, a lot of, just one day at a time, one play at a time. We never gave up, this and that. So the one time out of 100 that we get truth, that we get emotion, that we get passion, that we don't get coach speak, all of a sudden it's a bad thing? I don't understand. I mean, the background for this quote is that Sherman said something happened at a charity event last summer, and the guy's got a memory. He obviously doesn't forget. And he's going against him 60 minutes, all out, everything on the line, and he makes the play of the game, and they're going to the Super Bowl, and we get passion, and we get the truth emotion, for once. Yeah, emotion, and people are sandbagging the guy? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Well, I personally like it, too. I agree for the most part. I can see the other side of it, too. You don't want to be talking a lot of trash. And this is from the Seattle Seahawks standpoint, not necessarily everybody else who is watching on. But from the Seattle Seahawks standpoint, you don't want to talk a lot of trash. You want to, of course, represent yourself and be a good role model to people looking out there, which I really don't see how it that really affects his reputation on any level. Right. But I can see how, you don't want to have that mentality going into your next game before you even get to the Super Bowl. And maybe that does affect the atmosphere a little bit within the team. But we could actually carry Richard Sherman into our next segment. We love haters.
We love them. Haters love us.
We love them. And that's why Richard Sherman also is categorized here. But besides Richard Sherman, Carmelo Anthony has a lot of haters.
And maybe too many, but yeah, especially this week, he's got a lot of haters. He's coming off an all-time great performance. All-time great. Dropped 62 points at Madison Square Garden.
Rebounds.
62 and 13. 0 assists. And he's getting hated. What? Okay. Jason, if we're playing in a game together and I'm making every single shot, and you're 0 for, do you want me to pass to you?
In this particular instance for Carmelo Anthony, I like the fact that he didn't pass the ball. And here's the reason why. The Knicks are awful.
Atrocious.
They're terrible.
They're one of the worst teams in the league.
So if there's somebody on the team that can score, let him score. Get the team a win.
J.R. Smith, 14 off the bench. The second leading scorer of 14 off the bench. Not everybody else was lighting the world on fire. And I don't care if you say Carmelo took every shot. I mean, he was pretty efficient, too. It's not like he took 50 shots to make 62 points. I mean, he was on fire, as lights out as you could be, and probably could have scored 70 if they didn't take him out with 8 minutes in the game. Probably is an understatement. He could have scored 70. It's really hard to get to 62, and he could have gotten much more.
Unless there are more changes, maybe the subtraction of Andrea Bargnani and what else they could bring in. Let Carmelo Anthony score. Let him score 80. Let him score 90 points. Let him try to break the all-time record of 100 set by Wilt Chamberlain. I don't care. But stop hating on Carmelo Anthony for a 62-point performance. Maybe one other hater out there, the Cleveland Browns. People hating on the Cleveland Browns.
I got a call earlier this week from a blocked number. I didn't pick it up because I thought it was the Browns calling to ask me to be the coach. Nobody wanted to be their coach. And look, from a talent standpoint, I wouldn't say they have a quarterback of the future by any means. I mean, Hoyer did well, and then he got injured. And then you got Whedon, and then you got Campbell, and then you got Whedon. It was not great from the quarterback position. But other positions, I mean, defensively, they're solid. They have Pro Bowlers. They have talent there. Running back, they traded away Richardson. That looks like a win for them. They have plenty of picks you can build, but it's from the top. It's the owner and the GM that I think scared a lot of people away. They were, of course, last to pick a coach. And I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about the same thing next year if they're only giving coaches 1 year at a time. And what's the plateau here? Super Bowl or bust? I don't understand. But if you're gonna fire a guy after 1 year, you're gonna keep firing guys after 1 year because you have to build the team.
So you were not okay with the firing of Rob Chudzinski?
Not okay, but, Mike Pettine, I mean, we'll see. He's got the Buffalo background. He's got defensive background, and I'd say their defense is better than their offense, except for Josh Gordon, who is an emerging star. But, we'll see how they build in the draft.
Well, the rushing defense wasn't bad. It was their passing defense that was atrocious last season. Okay, well, going from the haters, all of you who are hating on those people out there, to the icon of the week, and you can never hate on Kevin Durant.
All right. We're going to talk about the last 4 games in general. And he sat out. He sat out in between. But triple-double with 32 points. 36 points and 46 points on back-to-back nights. All 3 of those wins. 30 points a week ago. Another win. They're on a 6-game win streak. They haven't lost in a week and a half. The guy is playing the best in the NBA right now.
I got to be honest. When he was a freshman at the University of Texas, my thought on him was that he was going to be mediocre at best.
He didn't exactly like the world.
He didn't like the world on fire, especially in college. And then he wasn't strong when he came into the NBA. I believe I heard something where he could barely lift 135 bench press. I mean, who would have thought that Kevin Durant would have gotten this far? But you're right, Matt. Over the last 10 games, he has tore it up, and he's averaging 30 points, leading the league in scoring right now. How can you not want this guy on your team? The one thing that you may not like is the fact that he has a nickname, Durantula. You're not a fan of that, man.
No, to give a guy a nickname Durantula for the sake of giving him a nickname? We'll go with KD. How about KD?
I like Durantula.
KD 3-5 even.
Durantula seems imposing. Okay,
Trey Cinco.
Tarantula. I mean, come on.
Durantula. It makes him seem like he's got 8 arms. He does.
All right. Getting to the less serious stuff, we get to our next segment here. Okay, you see where this is going, and we're having a little pattern here.
Segmented show.
That's right. You can't be serious.
Cannot.
You like the Biebs?
He's a hit maker. He's a hit maker.
Do you listen to his music?
If it comes on the radio, my iPod, if I select it at the gym, yeah.
Okay, well, apparently, if you want to be Justin Bieber's boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is,
if I was your boyfriend, never let you go,
you'll have to bail him out of jail, apparently, this week.
Not a good week for Bieber. It really hasn't had a good, I'd say, 2013 to 2014. In my opinion, he's flying off the rails a little bit. And first, okay, let's face it. Kid's 19 years old, okay? We did some dumb stuff when we were 19. We also weren't multi-millionaires.
We weren't.
And we weren't driving around in Lamborghini street racing in Miami.
Not.
No, we weren't. Not yet. Look, he's 19. He's underage. He gets caught street racing in Miami in a rented Lamborghini or Ferrari or whatever he was doing. Alcohol in his system. Pills in his system. And now, if you're on Twitter, we could hashtag deport Bieber back to Canada. And he'll just, what is he going to do? He'll just sleep on his millions of dollars and he'll be fine.
Did you hear the story that Bieber might be banned from the Heat games?
Is LeBron okay with it?
I don't know. I think LeBron's a little heartbroken over this. I would be. I mean, not having the Biebs out there, it's an attraction.
Right. Look, what's the saying? All publicity is good publicity.
He would be the second, by the way, the second celebrity banned from Heat games. Lil Wayne was the other one.
Lil Wayne's the other one. Look, I remember Lil Wayne when he got carried out of the game, right? Look, all publicity is good publicity. If no 14-year-old girl is gonna stop listening to this guy's music, and look, I don't want to sound like some old guy or anything, but I'm not saying this is sending the right message by any means. He's not sending the right message about, hey, you should be like me. But I don't think anybody who listens to his music is going to stop now because he was arrested. We'll see what happens.
I like the Biebs. One less lonely girl, boyfriend, you name it. I'll blast that music all day. All right, we're getting to the end here, so we are going to bring up the rapid fire section. Let's start off with the Australian Open, since that is the latest news. Again, this is recorded on Sundays, so that is the latest news from us. First off, let's start with the Australian Open. Stanislas Wawrinka beats Rafael Nadal in 4 sets. Lena, she wins against, what's her name, Dominika Sibiukova. I don't even know the names anymore. Matt, is this a good thing that we're not having those trademark names winning these titles?
Honestly, no. I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, a tennis purist will tell you it's great. It's great. You don't want the same person to win all the time. But if we were to walk outside and we were to ask people about Stanislav Wawrinka, how many people would say that they know who that is?
No one.
Not one. Not one. People
we need Nadal.
People know who Nadal is, and I was actually rooting for Federer against Nadal in the semis because people know who Federer is. One more for the old guy, and I mean, he's in his early 30s. Not like he's that old, but one more for him. It's not good. Now, Li Na, on the other hand, I know who Li Na is a little bit, and I don't know if you saw her post-game comments.
She's not a household name.
No, she's not. She's not. Her post-game comments, she was joking around. She said her husband's lucky to be married to her. I would say so. You win a big tournament like that. But, no, it's not good. People know who – and, look, we're speaking from American standpoint. People know who Serena is. People know who Venus is. And I don't think it's good. And people know who Nadal is, and he's Spanish.
It's just bad marketing for tennis right now, so I agree with you, Matt. Going on to our next one, college basketball, your favorite to win right now?
Syracuse, obviously. They're playing the best in the nation.
Syracuse alum has to make that. I'm going with Florida, though. Right. I'm going with Florida, a little bit of a dark horse. They do have 2 losses, but those 2 losses are to UConn and to Wisconsin by a combined 7 points. Yeah. Next, we're going to Lolo Jones, making the USA bobsled team. All right.
People know who Lolo was from the Summer Olympics, and now she's doing the winter, and everybody loves cool runnings from the bobsled team. You know what? We'll watch. See how Lolo does. Can't tell you what she does, but we'll watch.
I'm watching. She wins a gold in the 4x100. Now she's going to be pushing the bobsled. Next, the Canucks in the Flames. All-out brawl before the puck even drops.
Your boy. Let me tell you about your boy Torts. All right? Tortorella trying to get into the locker room during intermission, causing his own brawl. Look, he's a clown, okay? He's a straight-up clown. There's no doubt about it, but I like it.
147 penalty minutes assessed before the game. That's not good for hockey. No. Listen, we like fighting in hockey. At least I like fighting in hockey. I'm not speaking for everybody else out there, but when it happens before the game and every single player on the ice is fighting, that's not a good thing. The fans aren't in the stands to watch backups play. I'll tell you that much. No. All right, Yankees sign Masahiro Tanaka. Hasn't thrown one single pitch in the major leagues yet, but they signed him to a 7-year, $155 million contract.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you real quick why I like it and why I don't like it. Why I like it, he's 25 years old, okay, and he's lit it up in Japan. Okay, you can't say he hasn't. Last year he was 24-0. Okay, with a 1.25 ERA. Okay, that's pretty good. Wherever you are, that's pretty good. Why is it bad? Because what if he's Kiyagawa? What if he's Hideki Arabu?
Daisuke Matsuzaka.
He
had a decent year.
Daisuke had like 3 good years.
But you're looking for 7 good years.
You're looking for 7 good
years.
He's
25 years old.
Right.
Has a 2.30 career ERA in Japan. Yeah. That's the problem. In Japan.
Ichiro's pretty good in Japan.
He was, and he turned out to be okay, but it's always a risk.
It is.
And those are your Yankees, man.
Yeah, that's $500 million we've invested this offseason, so let's party like it's 2009 and start buying more rings.
All right, Matt, I think we had a solid show.
I thought it was a pretty good debut effort.
Solid show here. ProsandCon.com production. This is the Sports Guys and Ties. Again, you can listen to this podcast every single Monday morning, 6 a.m. sharp. We air it every single Monday, and you can listen to it throughout the entire week. So, instead of saying goodbye, I'm going to see you say see you next week.
Not going to say much.
Not going to say much anymore. All right, see you next week, everyone. And one more thing, keep it real.